some hits I think I'm beginning to get glimpses of recognition of the all is. It's like a few weeks ago, Sandy and I went out and did a bunch of things. After we got our cards printed up and everything, we went out to eat. And in the restaurant, the food was the most fantastic food we'd had in years. And we both said to each other, this has to be the all is, providing this for us. I mean, it was beyond compare. It was just outstanding. It wasn't your ordinary created meal. It was like an extra dimension better. And so we recognized that has to be the all is. Sometimes when we go out, we're guided to get something from a store, and we go to the store and the parking lot is full, but the post position is open. Somebody, like the all is, provides so we can drive right up front and park in the first parking spot. It's right in front of where we walk in, and it seems like that's happening more and more, and we're recognizing, that there's a lot more. This is not accidental. I mean, there's something to it, and I'm thinking that's how the all is working. Am I on the right track there?
Did you go talk to the chef that made the meal?
No.
We end up talking at least to one person about the new you and Duane's books. That usually kind of goes along with the establishment that we're in. But it probably would have been a good idea to tell the chef how good his meal was.
We didn't tell the chef.
No, we did tell the waitress. That we did.
What I meant is that take a look at who made your meal.
Oh.
Yeah, see, there's a difference, isn't there? You have become self-convinced about these ideas and creation. Yeah, these things do happen, and there are opportunities all the time. In other words, when you drive there, there's this or that. The opportunities are everywhere, etc. But realistically, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
But it is fun to think that way, isn't it? So pretty soon you've got all these ideas. You add them up at the end of the day. Oh, we got this parking place. Oh, we got this meal. Oh, we went over here and someone gave us an ice cream because they liked us. We were a cute couple. And, you go on. And yeah, you're sharing the new you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're sharing the new you or whatever. And those are steps. Those are the baby steps. Again, like your experience, Bob, when you were doing the detonators or whatever last week or whatever, and you were the new recruit. Okay, so when you come into this, no matter what you've been through, it's day one. Yes, this is a whole new nowness. It's day one. And so, yeah, these are cute ideas, like the love idea, right? Look at the world. The praying to God and the love idea, they're all thinking that, oh, it's all God. Or, God gave me this car or bought me this private jet. That's a good one too, isn't it? See, all these ideas, they're the same ideas. They only appear different. They're all in creation. But that's not the is. The is unique unto itself. It has nothing to do with any of this. But yes, things do happen in creation. And it can happen either way, etc. Yes, when I was in the corporation, things were working out, etc. There is guidance there. That's where the guidance comes in. See, the boys are the intermediates, and they know basically, what you're going to do from your free will, etc. So if there's something there, they will set it up for you, etc. They will set certain things up. But again, it's always free will, just like when you went into the diner. You decided what to order. Nobody decided that for you. You got your place there, you got your parking space, whatever. But you decided what to order, right? Yes, you did.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a physical thing. I don't take any of the physical things for granted. These are just things. If I have a good avocado, oh, it's a great avocado. I don't say, oh, the is gave me that. But you can, it's okay. But that is not the recognition of the is. Yes, everything is the is. It really is. But at the same time, look at the corporation. You know, Harry's thinking the same thing, you know, in his own way. But is it? It's really a fine line with all these stuff. Gee, it's such a fine line. It's like, well, Harry's on stage. He's telling all this stuff. He seems sincere. You know, maybe he is sincere. Let's say that he is. But at the same time, you know, Joni's pulling the strings. He's allowing that to happen at the same time. So what good is his sincerity if he's allowing her to pull the strings and decide everything for everybody? You see? There's always a fine line there, isn't there? So his sincerity doesn't really show up. So I'm not saying this or that about your experience. All I'm saying is that, yes, everything in life is provided for us, but it's not really what the is. That's not the idea. You're going through the process. Just like when you raise children, yeah, you did the best thing for them, you see? Best thing for them. And so going through the process, you're going through the process to eventually stand in that reality. You know, as you continue on, that's a decision you make to eventually stand and be that free being of light. See, that's the whole idea. But in the meantime, yes, there's guidance there. There are opportunities there, you know, etc. But eventually, as you see that, like the sun shining, you see, the sun's not in a restaurant. It doesn't need parking places, etc. You see, so compare that with your experience. You decide. See, the sun's a good example to compare with because it's like the junior is, you might say. It's a representation of it. So, but every experience, you decide that, and pretty soon, you know, you rack up all these things, and then what happens when they're not happening according to what you convinced yourself with, okay? Then all of a sudden, what? You start doubting, etc., like a lot of people do. You see? These are all plays on the mind. So as you learn to step by step sort these out for really realistically what they are, it's an opportunity. You got the opportunity to do that. That's realistically where it is. But all of a sudden, the comparison is, what is the isness? So the best reference that you can use until you really recognize is the sun shining. What does that have to do with the sun shining? So you did have that meal, which is fine. Again, nothing's negated. But when you look at the sun shining, where is that? You know, just like the idea of belief or anything else that people carry, they're going, oh, I believe in God. Well, when you look at the sun shining, is there belief there? So what I do for my personal self is, yes, I go through these experiences, but I give myself continually the objective view because I see how self-convinced the personal self becomes instantly. You decide. That's all. I'm just sharing that. You decide.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Duane. Would you say that your awareness comes through a knowing? Is that how you perceive awareness, is through a knowing?
No. Okay. I start with what Rebazar would call the end result. That's what I've always done. Even when I did my jobs, I did that. Just like Tesla. You know, Tesla never made prototypes because he saw it all done. I really never had plans to my job as I was a contractor. I already saw it done, and then I worked to that point. And this is what I do with this. I see it from the end result, and then it becomes a knowingness in the intuitive part and the mind and the rest of the bodies. That's how it works, and not the other way around. See, people are trying to use their mind to figure out the whole of life, and it doesn't work. It will never work, because all you'll do is create more ideas that you think you know, and this is what the world is full of, the know-it-alls that are destroying the world. You know, the ones that go through the colleges and, you know, the high school, colleges, university, and get their diplomas, and they think they know more than life, and then they go out there and they're more than happy to unconsciously contribute to destroying the world. And this is what they're doing. You see, so it doesn't work from the personal self. You have to see it from the end result. And now that you know about the isness, again, you decide your position. Is it going to be from your mind and your bodies and your personal self? Or is it going to be from your real awareness that you're not aware of yet? That, again, and the real awareness is not self-convinced. Again, knowing is an idea, isn't it? And that is in the mind. And Paul used that too. He said, oh, I prefer knowing. Well, yes, but he's really saying that now that I have the experience of the isness, I know. But he's not saying, oh, I know. See, the Eckankar, what are they saying? The member shrimps, what are they saying in the corporation? Oh, we know that Harry's the Mahanta. Okay, so there's their knowingness. So I look at knowing, and I don't use it. Because, again, anybody can know anything. And really, do they? Well, again, it's none of my business. That's theirs. All I'm doing is sharing viewpoints. It's not a criticism. I respect the free will of everybody, and I stand back. Let them choose whatever they want because they have the right to do so. But the knowing aspect, as you build up to that, all of a sudden it's like you'll read the books or whatever, and you go, oh, well, I know this. No, you don't. You have no idea. See, again, you've built up to that knowing. Oh, I know what Duane wrote, and I know what he said, whatever. No, you don't. Because you can't see more than what you know. You've, again, become self-convinced. So much for knowing. But it's your choice.
Yeah, one of the things about the corporation, Harry had done something during said something during one of the seminars, and that was, if you do everything in the name of Sigmund, you don't create any karma. And I thought, what? Huh? What do you mean you don't create any karma? And so all the Eckankars were going around doing everything in the name of the Sigmund, in the name of the Mahanta, in the name of the Ek, and they thought they had a karma-free life.
That did work for a while. But after a while, it doesn't work. And Harry's just mimicking what was taught to him, which is fine. You start off there. But Harry hasn't gotten past that because, again, he looks to Joni. He's unconsciously mainly given himself to Joni. And the influence. So that becomes the difference. So, yeah, that can work, but realistically, it's like may the blessings be or the hue or whatever, you see. It doesn't work anymore, does it?
No,
it doesn't work. Yeah, the God idea, that was all cute. Paul started off there. And because Paul decided that, because he was the guy at the time, he decided that. It didn't matter. The boys didn't care. They were going to back up whatever he decided because Paul had the sincere intent standing real with them. That's why they backed him. That's why it worked. And so I could use anything myself too. I could do the membership. I could use the God idea and it would work. But I don't want it. So because I could see more. And I went with that instead. And then it opened up a whole new area, which is, again, when people hear those ideas, they're already self-convinced about what they think they know God is personally. Everybody's got their idea, but they have no idea at all. It's like, what is the all is? See, that's a better position to be in. That's much, much better. Like Columbus crossing the ocean. He don't know what's there, but there is something there, and he discovered it. But we'll just use that idea. The rest is not good, but anyhow. But there's the idea. And so this was presented to me. I made the choice. I could have gone any way at all, but I saw it already. I made the choice to go with the is. And it was referred to a little bit, but I made that choice. And I could have chosen anything. And as long as I was sincere and real, the boys would have backed it. That's the whole idea, just like what we're doing with the trees and the environment and the rest of the world. Even people that know ecology and the environment wonder what we're doing. This is so silly. And the Eckankars, really, they're just totally baffled. It's like Duane's off his rocker, now he's talking about trees. So the thing is that But there is a reality with all this. And so again, because of the sincere reference involved, which is the true reality life is, this makes the difference. So right now, this is how it is defined because I decided it. And it can be decided any way at all. But something has to be decided so people have a reference. It's very interesting, isn't it, when you compare all these things? When you learn to really compare. And that's the fun part. What I like is that always going into the unknown to see what else shows up, to see what I can see, and then bring it into creation and present it in a particular way. That's what I like to do, is I first go into the unknown and I take the risk to see what I can bring forward, and I take the risk to bring it out. And it's not about agreement, it's what makes sense from what I see. But it's not that I'm going to get agreement. I'm not looking for agreement, but I see how it does, but it doesn't mean everybody's going to see it. So you have to really take on the challenge of yourself and the reality life is. To see this. And that's the best part. And eventually, as you catch on, oh boy, you can stand in it and you're not the effect anymore. There is no karma, okay? This is all nonsense. But there is, as long as you keep agreeing to it. That's just simple. So saying, oh, in the name of the Sigmund or whatever, it ain't going to do it because you still agree to cause and effect creation. So those little whoop-de-doo phrases and parables and cliches are not going to do it, etc. So, and especially when they say, may the blessings be, or bless you, or whatever, those are like little curses. Those are like little tap lines now. They don't work anymore. We played that little baby game, and it's like, almost like a camel spitting on you. It's like, you can say, bless you, camel, then it'll spit on you. Like, get back, get away. I don't want that. You see, I don't want your little blessings, etc. So when Harry holds up his hands, Joni's working right through him. He holds up his right hand and it's like blessing the crowd. He's tap lining them. It's all a maneuver now. It's all a maneuver of control. It's not the same as it was, but it's okay. It's all okay. It's just choice. It's like your experience, Bob. Turn on the light or you turn it off.
The way Harold puts his hand up, blessing the crowd, that's exactly the hand formation that the crone used to tap line all of Eckankar. The same motion.
Yeah, well, so that, remember what Adolf did?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty similar, isn't it? So again, I don't do any of that stuff. Yeah, so, that was used at that time, and Paul used it too, okay? He did, and that was the sincerity that was coming out. But then when Joni took over through Darwin and Harold, okay, that became her apparatus to get to everyone, to control them, you see? Just like the love idea today. It's all control. It's all misused. The God loves you, the love idea, and etc. It's all emotional based, and everybody is tap lined with that nonsense. Yeah, and people can be sincere, but their sincerity is usually drowned out by their emotional attachments and behavior, isn't it? And through sensationalism and, let's play rock and roll music and really let's get it on, okay? Yeah, so whatever.
If you're going to try to perceive the all is, but you can't use your mind to do it, and you probably don't want to use emotions, what method do we have to go about perceiving if we want to leave the mind out of it? What mechanism or vehicle do we have?
Well, again, what do we keep referring to? The real you. So again, how about that? Just like your computer, do you process what your computer's doing, or does the computer do it? That's why we have computers, because our personal self can't do all that stuff. So again, you're already, you're already that drop of isness. Okay, that's the real you operating the body. So again, the 5 bodies are like toys. Just think of them as toys. And what within those 5 bodies is going to relate to this aliveness, it's kind of like, okay, which one of those toys on the ground do I have relates to the air I'm breathing? See? Does anything in this world relate to the air you're breathing? Is there anything you can do or make or conceive or whatever that relates to the air that you're breathing? No. Or the sun shining? None of it. You see? It's not there. It's not there in any of these things, these mechanisms that you've known. So what is it? What are you?
Well, you've certainly given me a lot to think about, Duane, so I thank you very much. I'm still working on it.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand. Hey, this is a huge journey. Okay. You know, when we were in the corporation, yes, we had the considerations that, oh, this is it. Oh, I'll never quit Eckankar, whatever. You see? Now you see, no, it wasn't. It was just a drop in the bucket, you see? Because life is big. You have to stand back and see the bigger picture. Just go outside and look at the sky and the sun. You know what you're looking at? You're looking at atmosphere. That's not the sky that you see blue up there. You're looking at atmosphere. A real sky is endless because beyond that atmosphere is blackness. And yeah, that can go on seemingly forever, okay? It's seemingly so. And it can be endless as long as you continually see it as such and agree to it as such. It is as such. So what else is there, okay, that you can see that you can't see? See, that you're the real awareness already. You know, just go outside and stare at the sky. Here's a little trick. But don't think or feel or anything. Just be. And just stare at the sky and just be aware. That's you. That's who you are. You are the awareness. But you see, as you continue your day and think this and that, you keep relating, you as the awareness keep relating, okay, to the ideas and thoughts and feelings and motions you go through. So you set up your thinking that this is you, when it's really your vehicle. We've already went through this. Remember 50 years of Eck, talked about the vehicles and whatever. See, this is where, you know, the idea of soul is cute, but see, it's not defined, and these people don't recognize it. So they think their personal self is their soul, or the astral body, or whatever it is, or God, or whatever, you know, etc. See, they're all confused. There's no real definition there. There's no real objectivity. So the God idea is really the Kalam God. It's all in creation. So this is the comparison they have, or really they don't even know what God is. Nobody really does. If they did, they wouldn't be there listening to Harry talk about God, because the Kalam God's reptilian. See, they don't know who their God is, so they're pretending that God is nice. But God is reptilian. They'd all be screaming and running out of the auditorium, out of the temple, if God appeared next to Harry, you know, 20-foot reptilian knucklehead. Yes. So, yeah, they don't know. They don't see Joni's reptilian. They don't recognize nothing. They're so self-convinced. It becomes to where, oh, gee, you know, I am soul. Well, what does that become? It's almost better in the religious orders where they say you have a soul. Okay, actually, that's probably closer. Now, Paul said it, but it was misunderstood. It's all screwed up. Everybody's thinking, well, I am soul. Well, now you just fuse that idea with the 5 bodies, and so everything's rosy now. I am soul, you see? And I am the higher initiate, and I am the Vahana, and I am all these things because Joni said so, you see? You see? There's your knowing. So much for that, so much for all those things that Paul presented was not understood. Just like Tesla, what did? They took it and they horrified it into weaponry. What he brought was wonderful, and they horrified it, and they brought it in, and they turned it into weaponry, and they just phased him out and stole all his particulars, his patents, etc. Yeah, anything you give to the patent house, they steal it. That's what it is. All these agencies are, fraud. It's just legalized theft is all they all are. Yeah, and sometimes we have to deal with the knuckleheads and etc. But this is something amazing that has appeared. Okay, here, yeah.
Well, thank you, Duane.
Yeah,
Just
thank-
on another note, did you ever get a hold of Jesse?
I called, I left a message, but yes, I'll call him again today. If you kids talk to him, yes, I would like to talk to him. Just from what you've said, there's a bigger picture that I'd like to talk to him about, but yes, let's see if he'll step up. So, yeah, I'll call him again after the Skype here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything else, and I thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
all
you
your
very
wisdom
much.
and insight and doing all this for everybody. It's just absolutely wonderful.
Well, this leads to the bigger picture, kids. So what you're seeing, Bob, with your experience, planning preparation, and the big show is the real universal position that I've talked about, but that's really something else. But again, yes, it's going to happen, and it's the planning, the preparation, etc. So you really got to pay attention to this one to see it and be with it. Yes, you really do. Just like look at all those corporation members, etc. Well, there's a lot more bigger steps coming. They get bigger and bigger. So you want to decide to prepare yourself. This is the opportunity. This is all I can do is tell people I'm very adamantly focused on this all the time, etc. Claudia is my best witness for what's happening on the real side. Yeah, the little Duane here is a little bit funny and this and that, but it has nothing to do with this body I have here. This is just seems to be here right now, but it's really the real side, and it's going to show up. But you have to pay attention, and you have to prepare yourself. So they're giving you the hints, is what they're doing. You decide. So eat your carrots.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cindy and Bob. That was fun. Thank you for stepping up and sharing. That's really cool.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, we need to know a lot of these things, and I don't watch the news. I asked you before, but I don't know if you heard. The thing about the hailstorm, was that actually on the news, or did you find that on the internet?
I found that on the internet.
Right.
You think it's real?
I think it's important to know what's going on in the world. Paul kept up and, tried to, relate that to people. And this is what we're doing now. We're keeping up where, the corporation and so many of these different factions out there in systems and institutions, they're really not. And they're pretending it's not there. So again, they will be the continuous effect of it to where we see it coming. Yeah, we have to deal with it like anything else, but at least we know what to deal with, and the boys are there to show us, there's always another door to, see what's going on, etc., open for us. And so that's the best part, is we pay attention to as much as we can in this world. So it's really, really cool that, we know these things, because we have to deal with this physical factor. And when it gets funny, or things happen, our attention, we don't feel like trying to figure out what life is or whatever. So it's best that we, know these things and share them, no matter what the world thinks. We're just simply sharing what we're doing, what's going on, what's really going on. So that's the best part. Yes, thank you for that. We'll see you next
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye for now.